is he has now, after investigation, been found out to have aligned himself with a group whose intention,
that I read,
to the front page of the Punch on Sunday,
let me put it in the context, because your response is completely different. Now, the formation of the PDP Governors Forum, as Mr. Harvey has said, he was quoting this section. He says, in the first instance, all of those consensus, all of those agreements which you talked about, predicated upon the formation of the group, the PDP Governors Forum.
Nigerian Governors Forum was what we're talking about.
The PDP Governors Forum, because you talked about the consensus they had
before they came to the
Nigerian Governors Forum.
Since politics is a concentric circle of conspiracies, when the PDP noticed that the ACN and the APC...
Can you put something on nothing?
Well, if the parties conspire in small groups so as to bring out positives for the collective interest of the larger group, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
So you can put something on nothing.
We have people who call themselves PDP Vanguard. We have people who call themselves PDP Stability.
You're implying that you don't see anything wrong in violating the PDP constitution.
I didn't say that.
That's implication of what you said.
I have not told you there are things wrong
in not
violating the... What I have told you, the Governors Forum, as you called it, it is not in the Constitution, but when, as the ATN claimed in their confession on Sunday, which is published on the front page of Punch, that they conspired in Maiduguri.
Why do you use the word conspire? What if it's smart politics?
That is the word used by the ACN man in the front page. It says that when they conspired in Maiduguri.
Mr. Ononuju, yes. I'm very amused at the fact that you've chosen to take what they said on the front page of the Punch, but you've also chosen to ignore what they said about having an election, or that an election did take place.
What happened on the front page of the Punch was a confession.
May I just quickly land here? Why do you decide to pick and choose from different areas what you take to believe, and what exactly seems to complete your story?
What was reported by the video, I told you, I do not act in ways and emotions.
I have decided to leave the video aside. There are other governors who have said an election did take place.
The opposition governors did say.
Oh yes, they did say that.
The PDP governor has said an election did take place.
Do you agree with that?
Well, from what we know from the Ilorin happenings, was the PDP produced.
The Ilorin happenings happened years ago. We're talking about what happened.
It also repeated itself just last week when Governor Jang was presented as the PDP consensus.
Mr. Ononuju, may I just quickly land here? I mean, let's not skirt around the facts. The fact remains that 35 governors gathered in one place. Do we agree on that? Whether or not an election took place is inconsequential. Did the 35 governors gather or not?
They gathered, and according to them, they asked Governor Amaechi, are you going to run? He said yes. They said, please, could you step down and allow
Mr. Ononuju,
who is not running to conduct the election? He said no.
Mr. Ononuju,
so they thought there was no election.
Mr. Ononuju, can we I'm just trying to take us through certain facts that we all can agree on without, controverting the video, without even making mention of the fact that there was a video. So if we agree that 35 people gathered, it was to get a chairman. Let's not use the word elect. It was to produce a chairman for the Nigeria Governors Forum.
That's right.
Do we agree on that?
We do.
So if certain people come out and say there was no election, and another group of people come out and say there was an election, how come you decide that you want to take the side of the governors that say there was no election?
I followed precedent, and I saw that normally such a body, the Conference of Equals, normally arrive at decisions through consensus. And it was
Mr. Ononuju, we're not children here. We know that 35 people gathered. In Ilorin, there were just 14 people. We understand that there were 7 governors and 7 deputies, and they agreed whatever they agreed in Ilorin. Here, we're talking about 35 people who were present at one venue.
That's right.
So if out of the 35 people, one group comes out and says there was an election, and another group comes out and says there was no election, how come you're deciding to go with the group that says there was no election?
Because the group that said there was no election told us that if there was supposed to be an election, there are modes. And we asked them, what are these modes? They said, first, In Nigeria, if you're running for election, you will step away from the seat. You step away from the seat for a neutral umpire to do what? Conduct whatever election.
Granted, we have taken, well, you do not know that because you were not there. But granted that you have decided that that's the side you want to take, and you're free to choose.
I did not decide that's the side I want to take.
Well, you're free to choose.
Because I agree. Even if Governor Amaechi could not be the judge in his own
Mr. Ononuju, may I land here? If you decide that that is the side that you want to take, it's fine. There is no controversy.
I didn't say that's just based on the opinion.
What I host the people will find a little ridiculous is the fact that you've decided to say, well, I take this side, and then on the other hand say, I go with the front page story of the Punch, which says that this was done to disgrace the presidency, in spite of the fact that the presidency has released a statement saying that they were not a part of whatever happened between governors in the Governors Forum.
Because the president was not there, and I believe since the president was not there, he wasn't part of it.
So why are you taking hook, line, and sinker what was on the front page of the Punch?
Because what the people confessed was they were trying to use Governor Amaechi as a proxy in order to fight the PDP. And I believe that is politics.
You also said that you believe what they said because they also said if you were to go for a position, you dissolve the group, you step down, and then another person comes and conducts it. Mr. Ononuju, you've been in this country. You've seen elections go on. Nigerians see all of these things. Are you telling us, can you tell us, as a matter of fact, which of the governors or which president in this country has stepped down for an election or for their re-election, or while the election was going on? Just tell us one. Just one.
Those people do not step down, but they do not conduct the elections themselves.
Oh, I see.
They do not print the ballot papers themselves, as was the case in this. They do not bring the ballot boxes themselves, as was the case in this. They do not hold the election.
He brought it himself?
He brought the ballot papers. He brought the ballot box.
You know all this, yet you were not there.
How did you know?
He also did it in his home, in the River State Liaison Office.
Were you there?
How did he know he printed the papers?
Well, what we've heard right now from up to 6 different governors.
You know what I think here? Because truly, I think
we are listening to just one part due to emotions from the video. But now we've been able to hear from quite a wide range of governors.
I'm trying to learn something from you because picking up from where Mark was stopped. Which do you believe the more? Do you believe in words than pictures that you get to see? When they say seeing is believing, and you have pictures matched with audio, and you see things on the front pages of newspapers, which do you take?
I believe in the strength of the majority. The majority party is the PDP.
And you realize...
For the minority to suddenly now say they won an election, that will be a misnomer, that would be unsustainable if it is something to hold in sort of normal opinion.
And I'm sure you agree that majority can also be wrong.
The majority can be wrong if it's not a democracy. If it is a conspiracy in a dictatorship, the minority could be right. But in a majority democracy where the PDP brought the majority people, brought a consensus, Governor Jang from Northern Governors Forum.
Have we changed the meaning of democracy that the lower number is now the voice of the majority as 16 against 19? We're learning every day. Perhaps maybe you should tell us.
The 16 against 19 is your parroting of what Governor Amaechi said at his press conference. We didn't say 19 governors.
It's not about press conference.
I want him to call a meeting with 19 governors, then I'll believe him. You know that no 19 governors will come sit with him. You know that is true.
That means you're a member of the PDP. You just don't.
I am a Nigerian, and I observe properly, and I know from Nigeria's history. You will not see PDP members sit with Governor
Initially, the first time, Mark, a moment. The first time you came to the studio, you told us, well, that was an Abacha video, meaning it was a make-believe.
That is still an Abacha video.
That was a make-believe video.
It is.
Then some moments ago, you just told us again, right there in the studio, that video was actually shot by one of them.
One of them confessed that he did.
And you believed it, and you said that.
Abacha's video was also shot by a soldier. So there's nothing wrong with those who are engaged in a plot to shoot a video, which out of 4 or 5 hours happenings with the Obas who came from the southwest of Nigeria, they produced a 10-minute clip.
It's amazing what you believe, because you have seen videos of what was taped by somebody who was there, and you chose...
It's not video of what was taped. It's an edited...
Let me put in the
clip.
question. Could you hold on?
Yes.
You've seen the video, call it whatever you will, but you've seen the